What's up guys, Arizu here. Today I bring you the make a clip for M10S, and again, as a disclaimer, these are week 1 strats. It might be not as clean in this case, but it's still like you get through the fight. We had a couple of damage downs, we had a couple of deaths, but we're still possible to do. We're going to be using the VOD and at the same time the Raidplans, so if there are some nuances I can just show it. And without further ado, let's go right into it. This time around, I'm going to be showing the first mechanic from the extremes. You have Red Hot alone, and in one part of the fight, he's going to do Flame Floater. He's going to go to one cardinal, and then he's going to get tethered to 4 people. He's going to dash to those 4 people and leave a line AoE on the floor. You have to stretch this tether in order for you to not get the, for you to not die, take a lot of damage. How do you know you're safe? Because you can see the tether be like yellow, right? So we're gonna have people go to specific spots because this is a toxic friend one, and the first person will always go to the corner of the map or to the left of him, or counterclockwise to him, you know. So over here we have number 1. Number 2 is gonna be, I'm gonna rotate the camera in a little bit in the bot right here. We let it play. Number 2 is gonna go to the next cardinal away from 1. So if here's 1, 2's over here hidden behind my buffs. 1 is gonna be right here. This is 1, this is 2, and then 3 is gonna be around this area where there's a new corner where these AoEs make, and you're gonna be standing right there. 4 is gonna be away from 3 towards this side behind me, and basically just expand the tether so you don't get damaged. So right here, respect the mechanic. You see how 4 is already to my left. They're looking right now at the bot. They're away from me. You're making space. They're right there. Boom, you're done. The first mechanic now, in like less space taken from the arena, you can actually have a little bit more uptime and more damage on the bosses. So right here, we just basically split it up, place it, and now everyone goes in front of the Red Hot right here, and then near the fire, so we can bait the open safe spot, which is right here on the other side. And then the same thing happens in basically the whole mechanic. You're gonna stack and move, and then that's it. Pretty much how it looks in the Raidplan is like this. As it's shown in the VOD, you're gonna have 1, 2, and then 3 and 4. That's pretty much it. Then ahead, you see like the placements. You can have them pretty much in this if you want to. If you don't want to, that's up to you. Well, you're gonna have the main tank, melee 1, melee 2, off tank, and that's it. This is, by the way, this to reiterate, this is Toxic Friends. You made it, you go. And now this is where we're gonna go straight to Deep Blue. We're gonna go ahead, because he just does a little auto attacks, a small raid wide, and then he disappears. When he appears, Deep Blue is gonna make the big swell, basically like your tutorial one. He's gonna look to one cardinal, and he's gonna make the big wave. And it's basically like normal mode, but with a little twist. He's gonna have bubbles of water. So if it's 2 orbs, like parties. If it's 4 orbs, partners. If it's 8, it's spread. Pretty much straightforward. And the same thing that happened in normal mode, where if wherever he's surfing, that's one part of the arena that is not safe. In this case, the right most part of the arena is getting cleaved. Right here, we know it's live parties, so we get knockback, solve it. Simple. And now this is where it's a new mechanic. We're gonna have the Protean. This is boss relative in Toxic Friends, so that's what we did. This is reverse alley-oop. So we're gonna it's gonna be either reverse or double. If it's reverse, you take your Protean, don't move. If it's double, you're gonna move to the open spot that the Proteans do. So right here, since it's reverse, you don't move. my off tank got cleaved, but hey, like that's part of it. It's part of learning. So Deep Impact is one of the tank busters based on the farthest person. And it also has a knockback, so you can knockback immunity if you want to, or you can just get hit and flow a little bit away. You can also cancel out the knockback if you dash at the same time as you're getting hit. Divers there is the other Raid War that we're talking about, and they're basically gonna do the same thing that happened in normal mode. Red Hawk's gonna join, but they're not gonna do anything right now. They're basically just gonna stand there and do the same mechanic that happened in normal mode, Extreme Spectacular. You can go either north or south, it doesn't matter, but just go together as a party so you can get the mids and you can get the heals. They're gonna spawn again, and this is where the first mechanic is gonna happen. We're basically gonna have this thing here is gonna be called Insane Air. This is Insane Air 1. There's a lot of things to cover, but basically both sides do the same thing. You're gonna have Light Party 1 on one, Light Party 2 on another guy. And basically, what you need to look out for in this specific phase is exactly the surfboard. If it's looking up, that's a tank buster. If it's looking towards middle, like this, to the side, it is a party stack. And if it's looking downwards, it's Protean. Make sure you learn it, because this mechanic repeats a second time later down the line. But for now, it is a good time to practice and get reps on this mechanic. So we're gonna see it play out, because basically there's nothing so much to show from the Raidplan here, because it can be a little bit random, but basically it holds the same shit. Everything is proximity based. So the tank buster is proximity, the line party stack is proximity, the proteins are proximity. Make sure you're close enough to the end point where the surfboard is. So right here, boom, get auto solve. And always try to point it outside, because the same thing that happened in normal mode is gonna happen in Savage, where if fire and water cross, a bubble is gonna appear and it's gonna do a small AoE. Well, it's kind of medium size. But anyway, so right here it's middle, boom, party stack. And now in this case, as we're going to the middle, same thing, just point it outside, away, do not kill your party members. And then right here, this is pretty much basically the first few minutes of the fight, fire and water snaking. For this, I'm going to be showing the water debuff. And basically, you want to go towards the color of your boss. Just because you have this debuff does not mean you cannot hit the other one. You can hit both bosses regardless of your debuff. This one right here. This one's right here. You can hit both of them. It doesn't really matter. But the thing is, the mechanics that come out from the bosses are going to be targeted towards the debuff that you have. If I have the blue debuff, Deep Blue is gonna target me for his mechanics. So right here, let's follow Deep Blue, and he's gonna jump towards the west side of the map. He can go towards the left side of it, looking at west, or to the right side of it. You know, this is like northwest-ish, this is southwest-ish. Doesn't really matter. He's gonna go towards one of those two spots. He's gonna go towards one of those two spots, and then you're going to do the same thing, but mirrored. What do I mean about the same thing? So we're gonna have the tank right here. We're gonna have the range, the melee, and the healer. The same thing would go on the other side. If it's over there, it would be the tank, the range, melee, healer. Something like that. I don't know how to spell it on the screen. My apologies. But what this does is, because the first mechanic that he always will do, it's either reverse or double alley-oop. Regardless of what he does, you're gonna have like these proteins, right? You want to stand on the open spot, the big open spot. There's a big open spot right here. There's a big open spot. You're gonna see it in a little bit, but you always go there regardless if it's double or if it's reversal. So let's see. We're gonna stack up really nice and tightly, reverse alley-oop. We go to the open spot and let it solve. Now 6 Swell is gonna be casted. He's gonna do it to either north or south. Something to think about. So 6 Swell is gonna resolve way later into this mechanic. It's north, and he's going to do the smaller one, the D Burial. He's gonna go to the opposite side. He's gonna go south, and you have to look out. If you're blue, you have to look out at the wave. So right here, you can barely see it right here. You can see one orb. If it's one orb, it's live party stack. If you see 4 orbs, this is spread. If you see 1 orb, live party. If you see multiple, that is spread. It's pretty much straightforward. And he's gonna do the same thing where, like, if it's deep swivel barrel, it's gonna be the half room, the full room cleave, but with spaces on the side. We're not gonna talk about the red stuff right now. Don't worry about it. They have their half of the arena. We're still on the west side. We're gonna go back to the middle, and here's where we're going to solve the other one. You see how he now for the 6 swell, he has 4 orbs. Is going to be spread. It could be again just 1 orb. Again, straightforward, and pretty much it's evident what he's going to do. But you, in the heat of the battle, you may forget about it. But for now, right now, he's gonna go away. One part of the arena again, because he's on his soft board, is going to get cleaved. Basically, since it was spread, like, you're gonna have to spread it. It's only 4 spreads in this case instead of the 8 that you saw before. And even if you hit your water to other people that are fire, so if, for example, if my circle manages to hit, let's say, my tank right here that has red, they have red, and I hit them with my spread, nothing happens to them, they just take damage. It's fine, as long as they don't overlap like a Venn diagram and they're in the middle. And right here they would die, of course, because it's an overlapping damage. They get destroyed by it. But if it's a normal one, it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. So right here we have spreads happening. We have the melee a little bit closer, the tank on the outside, the range, and then the healer on the back. Pretty much that's about it. And you want to do the final part of this mechanic, which is cutback plays. You want to bait it again like in the other one, and then go into the safe spot. Right here is where the tank that has the blue one, it is guaranteed to go for the deep impact that the deep blue is about to do. This deep impact is gonna go for the blue tank that has a debuff. I still haven't shown the Raidplan yet for this, but I'm gonna show it after I show the red side. So let's go for it. Okay, we're back at the fire debuff, in this case for the fire and water snaking. And basically, if you have the red debuff, this is what is gonna happen. So you're gonna go towards Red Hot. He's going to automatically jump to the east side of the arena, and we're going to have both the tank and the melee on this spot, range and healer on those spots. You're going to bait them right there, get away from them. There's going to be a tank buster right here. It also happens from the blue debuff side, but mostly because you're so away from them, you don't see this, because the tank buster comes from Red Hot. So like, you're probably more closer towards this tank buster, so just be careful. And in this specific case, you can see that the swell actually spawned on the south side. That's the other variant that can happen. It spawns on the south side, so you have to like be careful into that. We saw that he's going to do the barrel on the other side. That's another small note from the blue side. For red, we're going to stay on the east side. No matter if it's north or south, we're gonna stay on the east side. Something that I forgot to mention on the blue side, on the blue debuff side, you're always staying on the west side. You're never crossing. That's your side. West is for blue, east is for red. That's it. And now that's where you saw the wave a little bit, that there was also like some 4 bubbles instead of just 1. That's another one. Red is always spreading, and it's always spreading on this set. We're gonna have the tank, the melee here, the range on the healer on the corner, and the range a little bit up. Now in this case, I'm gonna turn my camera a little bit so you can see. So my range is about to place it right here, but as a deep swell, the half room cleave happened, you can see the orbs are happening here because it hit the AoEs. So you have to be careful if you're ranged for that. So right here, there you're gonna place it, and they barely place it on the outside. There's room, so don't be scared. There's room. You're gonna place it, and then you're gonna come back in. So now we're gonna do the one thing that some people are calling specifically like the M10S, or in the Raidplan that is out there called num 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 or basically the P8S dog. Sorry, I think I said M10S. So right here, we're gonna be showing the jumps. Basically, you're gonna place your jumps on the east side, because usually in the raid plan, they show it over here. The double LEU, they're gonna place them, Proteans, place them either north or south. This can be mirrored or, you know, the same. Right here in the original Toxic Friends, they place them on the inner cardinals. But our group decided to go for at least the baits, for the last baits, for the Num Num one, this one. You're gonna place them on the east side. And you're gonna basically have the whole east side covered. But there's still space, some space for you to like dodge the middle or right side of the 6 swell deep blue line cleave. But basically placing all the AoEs, the beta AoEs on the east side, it gives more breathing room for you to work around that. So let's go back in the bot a little bit. You're gonna see that the tank already went out. They went and baited it. Now I'm going in because they already went out. He jumps to the other side. I go in. He baits on my side. And then the range goes over there. Boom. Gets baited. So right here, he's going to do the cleave through the middle. And this is where I tell you that I at least personally, like, I just press Novak Immune. And just, you know, I hold here because it's about to get hit. The AoEs got hit, the fire puddles got hit, so their bubbles are gonna go off, but it's gonna go off like 2 seconds later, so you have time. Do not panic, there's still space. And because in that case it was stacked, everyone can just stack together in that last one, because basically, like, if the last one is stacked, everyone just can stack. So everyone together can just go and bait the cutback blaze. And that's pretty much it from the red side. Then after here is the same thing, you have Deep Impact, and that's about it from the red side of Snaking. And we can go to the next part of mechanics. For a small parentheses, I'm gonna be showing now the raid plan and how it looks on the raid plan, and a little bit of its differences, at least on the Num Num one. But basically, like, it's proximity bait debuff. Sometimes it gets a little bit buggy, and like we have 2 healers on the left side or 2 healers on the right side. Honestly, sometimes it's RNG and you don't get the debuff that you want. So you just have to like deal with it, I guess, because like the game is just like that. So even if you're on the red side, you can still get the blue debuff. That's what I'm also trying to say. So if something happens and it gets a little bit like wonky, try your best, you know. If not, next pool. So same thing here. It shows deep blue over here, but he can also jump towards this side, but it doesn't change that if he's on the other side. Of course, tank, healer, melee, ranged. And this one is static because he always goes to that side and basically nothing changes. Open spot right here, open spot right here. You always dodge no matter what. We're gonna go, this can be either north or south at the same time. What it says right here, fire group east, water group west, always. And as it says, you always have time to adjust. As you could see on the bot, that happened. This is the one that is different. Instead of having it on the 4 corners, we did the slightly different one where we have the tank and healer going first, then the melee and range. And that gives a little bit more of a breathing room space to do it. And that's pretty much it from this part of the raid plan for double alley-oop or snaking, however you want to call it. For after double alley-oop or snaking, there's going to be the bubble or deep aerial. In this case, we have the healers in the middle because they're basically in the damage from the dashes itself is not that big that you need tanks to take the tower. So having both healers in the middle makes it so they can heal from the middle of the arena and everyone can catch heals in case they need to. So right here, what we did was, to our best, was make it try to make it parallel, but at the same time just cross it. That was dangerous, but as you can see, it doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't really matter, this mechanic, how you do it, as long as this fire right here, as long as this fire hits the bubble. The blue one must not Hit it by any mean. If it hits the bubble, it gets a bomb down and you cannot do damage to it. You fail the DPS check. And pretty much you just have to play safe. So in my case, oh, in the case that they dash together, it leaves a bubble. Move away from it. That's pretty much it. You can react to it. It's not so difficult. Right here, I'm like trying to like not kill people because like it can get like, hectic, but it's still doable. So we try to keep, at least what we did, we try to keep blue on one side of the arena without actually interfering with red, but there was some miscommunication. But at the same time, you know, it still happens because like the nature of the mechanic is hit it with fire, and basically it, and making sure that you don't hit, making sure that if you need to take a downtime, take a downtime, because the most important part is basically that if you live, like that's all you need. Basically, same thing. You just hit it with fire, hit it with fire. Every dash does like 15% of the bubbles HP. So basically it's going to do, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like 6-7 dashes or something like that. And that's pretty much it. It's just like it's a repeat, and like get used to your surroundings. After that, there's pretty much the next set of mechanics, the big mechanic, which in my opinion you can really struggle with this because like our group struggled with it a little bit, but you know, it's a thing. I'm gonna let it play out a little bit because like right here is your arena is gonna get split into west and east. Live party 1 west, live party 2 east, and basically everything's gonna happen in a sequential order. So first is a split that we're just seeing right here. Boom, 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 boom. You're looking at the big swell over here. You can see it, right? Just keep a note on it. Don't think about it yet. It's not gonna happen yet. Just leave it there. The split happens, and the very next thing that's gonna happen, he's gonna do Alley-oop Inferno, which is the baited AoEs. Basically, you run back and you're gonna place them on the respective spots, like in the Raidplan. This is basically the harder one because Deep Blue is doing reverse alley-oop, and he's doing it from either away from you or on the west side or close to you on the east side. I'm gonna show the Raidplan for it. RNG wise, I couldn't get a footage of my own POV for this because for some reason he always run to the other one, but the nature remains the same. If you see the melee would be mirrored to the other side, I would be in this spot right here. Basically, if this is the blue, this circle is the blue, I'll be right here, right? And my healer would be over here. There's the tank, and this is the range. So basically, in this case, it's gonna do big Proteans. And if you're on the other side, which is in my opinion, the harder one, you want to stand around. If you divide this into like the edge and the middle, you want to stand in the middle of this, because the way that this Protean goes, it needs to hit with the same time, like on the same side, like right here. The co-tank is gonna be right here, and the big Proteans need to like meet up in the middle. I'm gonna show it on the right plan a little bit, because whenever it's reverse alley-oop, it needs to open a safe spot for us. So right here, the Protean is a little bit off, so we're gonna get hit by it. But if the tank was standing around this area, it would look scary. But if it's reversed, it would open right here a path for us to be safe from it. Where I'm going right now, which would be like this cardinal, it would be safe. But because it was misplaced, I get hit by it. But it is what it is. If it was the other side, where it was like normal, if it wasn't reverse alley-oop, it was double. You can see that there's an open spot right here to my left, and there would be an open spot right here to the right. So you would go to that spot right now. On the other side, it's a little bit easier because they're closer to the balls, they have more space. Those alley-oops made every single fire basically have a reaction. You just dodge them and go and place your new puddles. Place your new puddle. This is the part where as soon as you place the puddles, you come back in, you do basically like 1 GCD, and you can press your knockback immune. I already pressed it like 4 seconds ago, and it lasts long enough. So right here, he's gonna do light parties. This is a guaranteed. You can see the 2 big balls over here. It's always light parties. You don't think about it, and that's about it from this mechanic. Light parties, knockback, people knockback immunity. You just like stand together. Make sure you solve it, and you also solve because it's water, it's hitting fire, so you get away from it. Play it safe. There's a divers there, and that's it. So let's show quickly how it looks on the raid plan. So on the raid plan, it looks more simple, but let's say like the first step is a fire, right? And then the second step is go and place it. Go and place it, go and place it. And now, so right here, we're gonna have the boss jump to either west or east. He can go. For the ones, because like right here, ranged can just like stand here, and if it's reversed, they can't stand still and then just move, because the AoE from here is gonna explode. Range and the healer basically can just stand there and move. Over here, they basically, if it's reversed, they can just stand still because that's what's gonna happen. If not, they just go to the open spot that makes right here. Because they're closer to the boss, they make it act as if it's normal, right? So there should be an open spot right here. As I said, it's on the cardinal. It's always on the cardinal, and you have to like be close. It's gonna be scary. You probably are gonna die to it, but you have to be as tight as possible to make this open safe spot possible. This safe spot right here has to happen. You have to be close. These 2 people. The main tank at melee 1 if they're far away, or the off tank at melee 2. They have to keep a mind on that. And basically, what happened next, which was bait the puddles on their respective spots. It's a specific spots. Like these spots are never changing. This is always my M2. I'm always going to the east side. Like I'm always baiting either right here or right here if it's close or far, depending on where the boss jumps. I'm always baiting right here, the other one, and then the knockback, whether it's coming from east or from west over here, it doesn't really matter where it comes from. If you knockback immune it, you can pretty much ignore that one. Of course, the thing that you don't have to ignore is where the dash is going. The dash is still gonna happen, so 1/3 of it is gonna be danger. Of course, most people will try to go to the middle, so if the danger's in the middle, make sure you dodge it as a party together. So once that is done, that's pretty much it. We're gonna go to Insane Air. We're gonna have Extreme Firesnaking or Insane Air 2, but in this case we're gonna have some debuffs. You're gonna see that we have blue, in my case, and melee. In my case, I'm going towards blue. Right now I'm going towards the blue. Everyone except the healers are going towards their respective colors. Red towards red hot, blue with the blue. The healers, the blue healer will go with red hot. The red healer will go towards the blue. Why? So they can immediately solve the mechanic and like not be stressed about like switching midway through it. So right here we're gonna see it play through. The healers already swapped and they're gonna auto solve it in this first mechanic. So this one is a Protean. It's getting auto solved right here. Boom. Now this next one is a party stack. Regardless if it's a Protean or if it's a party stack or a Protean, you are switching unless it's a tank buster, the one that is going up, right? So in this case, the next one in line for us, it was melee. So melee are switching. We're going to the other side. Already went to the other side. Boom. Another cleanse. Now in this case, the next one is a tank buster. This is the only case where the tanks have to swap, because that's the only time they can actually swap. So they swap right here. They go and swap. Boom. Another cleanse. So this is the other one, Protean. Even if this one was a party stack, Like, this is the last swap that needs to happen. It's arranged. And you still solve it if you still solve it as if it was like the first insane air, which is like just pointing to the outside. You're only swapping once like you need to, and then you stay with that boss, and that's about it. And pretty much that is insane air too. We basically have done most of it. Now the only last mechanic is double alley-oop 2. For Insane Air 2, it's pretty much straightforward. We're following the same thing, swap order. The healers immediately, the melee once they can. The range if there's no tank buster after melee or something like that, you know, like make sure like you keep track of like who's going next. There's always 4 of them, there's always 1 tank buster, and you have to cleanse all of them. And basically, let's show the last thing right here. I'm gonna go a little bit ahead. Basically, you want to go to your clock spot, and you want to respect this mechanic. So right here, she's gonna do reverse alley-oop. If it's reverse alley-oop, you can basically stand still. You want to place them as far as you can, and respect it because you need room for this. If it was double alley-oop, you go clockwise, looking into the arena to the left, if you're looking to the wall to the right. You want to go into this, but making sure that you place your puddle on the outside. And then right here, it's going to happen pyro rotation. Same thing, you're going to bait 3 puddles, and also deep impact. This may get a lot of people because they happen at the same time, so they may go for the stack when there's actually a tank buster incoming. 1, 2, we missed it, 3. But hey, it's a little bit hectic, but hey, it happens. Sometimes my clockwise is another guy's counterclockwise or something like that. It can happen. But at the end of the day, like, you're still there. Once that happens, that is the last mechanic. After this is just like raid wide with raid wides. We're basically getting our last burst in as we can. You want to basically like make sure you don't you make them die together if possible. So right here, it's pretty much over. And that's the whole fight. It's a pretty much straightforward fight, and like a lot of repetitions, and it asks for a lot of consistency. But like mostly the things to point out are basically over here. Watersnaking with, you know, double alley-oop is the big mechanic of this fight. We're talking about deep aerial might be a little bit of trouble, but not too much once you get used to it. Arena split is the second wall of this fight. Once you get past arena split and you get some prog in Insane Air 2 and double alley-oop and you get used to the timing, you're pretty much done. The next time you're really consistent on the last 2 mechanics, you get past arena split, you're clearing. So outside of that, that's pretty much it. And you know, you can still clear. You saw we had a couple of, you know, deads, couple of damage downs, but if everyone's locked in and they can cleave correctly, you can get away with, you know, some more DPS than you're supposed to. Anyway, I hope that was useful, and I'll see you guys on the next one.